Today we are visiting Caerleon Roman fortress and baths.
Carleon, or Isca as the Romans called it, is one of only 3 permanent legionary fortresses in Britain.
It has the finest remains of legionary barracks in Europe, as well as being Europe's only complete barracks open to the public.
Here can be found the remains of communal toilets and latrine drains, a bread oven, cookhouses, the remains of fortress walls, and a gate and corner turret.
Somewhere in the order of 5,500 Roman soldiers were stationed at Caerleon Barracks, sleeping 8 to a room. The baths are about a 5-minute walk from the barracks.
The baths were a huge complex with indoor and outdoor pools, both heated and cold water.
There was also an outdoor exercise area, making it akin to a modern leisure centre.
The baths were built at the same time as the fortress, around 75 to 77 AD, and remained in use until 230 to 240 AD.
By 300 AD, they had been stripped of all usable materials, which was used in buildings in the village of Caerleon.
It's really weird being here because this place would obviously once have been absolutely heaving with people. Now it's just, I wouldn't say desolate, but silent. And all the way around there are the sounds of life carrying on. There are schools nearby, so you can hear them in the distance. And it's just weird because it's like there's a ghost of what was here noise-wise, if that makes sense. Makes you wonder who's going to dig up our future dwellings and go, oh, I wonder how they lived. This is where the kitchen was. And
This is the latrine, or it was, and the strange thing about Roman latrines is that they were communal. So you just sat next to your fellow soldier and did your business and had a bit of a chat. I don't think it's something that I would particularly like. We're far too restrained for that sort of thing, but no, the Romans loved it. And underneath them was a trough through which water ran, and it washed everything away, and it was all very nice and very civilised, and you could have a lovely, lovely chin wag while you did your business. Not for me.
along with their communal toilets, they've also got a fairly decent drainage ditch that runs all the way along the back of the complex. Not sure where it emptied out into.
The barracks were arranged in sets of 2 rooms. This room, which was the smaller of the pair, would have been used to store the soldiers' equipment, shields, swords, spare stuff, I don't know, you know, the sort of stuff Roman soldiers have. Those hats with the big feathery things on the top. And then over there, you would have had the room that was their bedroom. Now that would have slept 8 people. That's not much room for 8 people. I mean, really. Look. See, that's not a lot of room. I should imagine that if modern boarding schools were to provide rooms of that size for 8 people, somebody would have a thing or two to say about it.
So, what did you think?
I found it incredibly impressive. There's an awful lot here because you've not only got the barracks, you've got the wall of the fort, and you've got the baths. But talking to one of the local chappies, it turns out that there's an awful lot more that you can't see. There's an enormous drain that comes from what was once a Roman town up on the hill, and that comes all the way down and down to the river, and it's just amazing amounts of stuff here that you don't see. Obviously the Romans thought it was really worthwhile putting an awful lot of people here to make sure that the Welsh didn't cause too much of a problem, although they weren't really Welsh at the time. They were Silurs and a variety of other tribes. But the baths, which are quite something to see, it's a bit odd in there. It's a bit like a library, isn't it? You wander around and don't want to say anything.
It's very atmospheric in there because they've got the music playing and they've got the splashing sounds of the pool. No water in there, of course, but it's okay because there's pretend water because there's lights. And the projection of the swimmers.
Yes, it's all very clever stuff.
Yeah.
That is it from us here at Carleon. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already.
See you next time.
TTFN.